What's going on, guys? It is Spinning Backfist. Welcome back. It is me and Big Ev, fresh off of UFC 324. We got stuck in Vegas, but we are now back in New York, New Jersey, metro area. Robbie is not here with us right now. I think he had to pick up his dog or something. He was driving all over. He's going to join later. But how are we feeling, Ev? I know we spent more time than initially scheduled in Vegas, but it was a good trip. It was a good week.
It was a great week. I thought we had got a lot of good stuff. It was getting cool getting talked about the fighters. I feel like I'm still gelling. I took the red eye last night. I didn't sleep at all, and I feel like it's fucked up my whole day. I've had some seamless red eyes in the past, and this one just threw me for just a wrench. Just didn't sleep at all. I'm running on fumes. But we're here though. We're chilling. We're back.
Yeah,
great week. It was a great week. It was awesome. It was great to be there. Going to Vegas, no better city to go to fight than Vegas.
Yeah, I've never been a red eye guy, but yeah, it was obviously the snowstorm just threw us off, but we were very, very lucky to go out to Vegas, and it was awesome to see. And I just want to thank Paramount Plus for that again, who is the presenting sponsor of tonight's show. And let me just put up the little lower third really quickly. Obviously, everybody knows that Paramount Plus is the new home of the UFC. We saw the numbers. Big time numbers. We'll get more into a little bit of a recap of where we're at after the first card of 2026. But Paramount Plus started it off with a bang, and that's where you are going to get all of your UFC action for the foreseeable future, and Zuffa Boxing. And Paramount Plus is ready for their second pay-per-view, back-to-back pay-per-view, starting off a new era for the UFC. And obviously, we're going to get into all of it. Volkanovski against Diego Lopes, and the always dangerous Dan Hooker throws down with dynamic finisher Benoit Saint Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown. UFC fans, pay-per-view just got knocked out. Stream UFC 325 live on Saturday, January 21st or 31st, only on Paramount Plus, the new home of everything UFC. Check out full-length replays, pre-fight, docuseries like UFC Countdown, UFC Embedded, and the UFC library that's filled with epic events from years past. Catch all the action from the Octagon and stream every fight live with just one subscription. That's ParamountPlus.com/UFC. All of that is in the bio or the description if you're listening or watching right now. But yeah, shout out Paramount Plus. This will be our first card watching on Paramount Plus because we were in the building, which was awesome. But I had a lot of friends who watched, and it seemed like it got off to a good start.
No, I think Paramount Plus is doing great. The numbers were great, and I think you're seeing how much cheaper it is in this model is, I think, going to pay dividends on not only that card, but just like long term. Like, I think just the accessibility to it, like Paramount has so many different programs. It's very just like, it's only, what is it? It's $8.99 a month, or it's basically, what is it, 90 for the year? And that's basically what it costs for one pay-per-view. So I had a bunch of people that would maybe only watch the big fights, and it was a big fight, so they were watching. But I think you're going to see a lot more viewership card to card with it being so accessible. But the thing I would say I'm excited too to kind of like take one in, like get the whole production behind it. Where, like you said, we were there in person. But the thing I did notice, even from seeing just clips and things like that, where I think they're more. I think with the storytelling now, I think they've taken it to another level, kind of with like they almost feel like movie trailers. You know what I'm saying? Like in terms of like when they're like painting the picture of like kind of the hype and like the like even me and Robbie were talking about like patties, like they had the Blink 182 over it and everything. Like it felt very like movie trailer-esque, which I liked.
Yeah, Paramount Plus is taking it to a new level. Shout out to them. Obviously, you know where to find them. Yeah, I think it's taking it to a new level. Those numbers were huge, man.
Huge.
And the streams, obviously, they said 7 million different households or in general, and then it peaked around 5 million viewers or so.
I think it was almost 6. I think peak was almost 6.
Like yeah, 5, that 9. Was just streams. I know sometimes they calculate a little bit differently for there's a difference between streams and viewers because they'll often know about how many households have multiple people watching, but still amazing stuff. And it's really exciting, especially for the podcast, for just seeing more and more people into it. And I know some people get mad at casuals, but that's roll your eyes at that. It's always great to welcome new fans to the sport, the already incredibly popular sport, but there's obviously room for growth, and Paramount Plus is bringing that to this era.
No, I think it's going to be huge for it. Like just the accessibility of it. Like it's funny to you, Jack. Behind I always referencing. I have like a younger cousin who's like been in the UFC, but obviously, listen, when you're a 16-year-old kid, not everyone just has like $100 to throw on a pay-per-view when you're in high school. You don't got a job, whatever. And I mean, Paramount Plus makes it like so easy. Where like he hit me up, like he watched this card. He was like, I'm going to watch every card. Like, why wouldn't I? And a lot of good friends of mine that are people that just watch casually, definitely going to watch more. And I think you're going to see casuals, like the bar for casualness could potentially rise. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like, I think it's going to be so much more accessible on Paramount Plus, that I feel like you're going to see a lot more people even watch. Like, I think you're going to see a lot more people that watch like every numbered card, and you're going to see a lot more people that are just watching consistently like 2-3 cards a month. And I think especially it's good now, starting with football season ending, because there's really not much going on Saturday nights. Like, obviously you have college basketball and all that, but like until football starts up again, there's nothing on Saturday night. So it's the perfect time to really get people in the groove of like, hey, it's Saturday night, like throw on the fights on Paramount. Easy.
Yeah. From Matt Crowley, the pacing seemed a bit off. Did you guys sense that in the building? I did not, but I saw people discussing that. I think UFC came out, or maybe it was the new Paramount producer said, hey, it was the first card. We're trying to get our feet underneath us, and there was a lot of cool things we wanted to do. And just so you know, it's not going to be like that every time. I'm sure they'll go back to kind of the pacing we're used to. But good question.
Also, you have to remember, like they lost a couple fights last minute that they didn't expect. Like even losing like Hernandez, Johnson, like basically the day before, and also they had two first round knockouts in the first 2 fights. So I'm sure kind of all of that together. But yeah, I didn't feel it that much in the building, but I get it if people felt that way, because I think UFC's had elite pacing for a long time. So I get it.
PC Strickland, besides the curtain drop and movie style promos, was the in arena feel any different presentation wise, or generally the same main card intros? The only thing that I noticed that wasn't there was a new like pay-per-view intro song, and then also there was no Face the Pain, which is kind of like an iconic UFC kind of intro. But maybe they'll bring that back for other.
Well, so they did, but they did kind of like a double one, because they threw me. Because remember when you guys were out, I sent in the group chat. They did like kind of a Paramount, almost like an intro to Paramount one, where it almost was like telling the story of the UFC chronologically. Like starts with like Royce Gracie, like into like, you know, kind of the early days, and then like go into like Bonner, Forrest Griffin, and the kind of all the major things that happened from then until even like basically right now. So they had that, but then they did have like the like patented like that one they do every like for every numbered card like in the arena, where it's like all the crazy knockouts and everything. So they did kind of do both, and like he said, they had like the thing where they had the big tarp up with the Paramount. They had the screen on it. They dropped it. That was cool.
Yeah, Bob O'Reilly was still there, but Face the Pain was not. That really like head bodding kind of song, but maybe they'll bring that back, because I feel like that's always been with the UFC. Outside of that, no. Between fights and with fighter walkouts, it all felt very much the same. So yeah,
they had those lights they put on everyone's seat.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was like when Suga walked into the cage, you could kind of see some purple going off in the background, kind of like
they had different colors for like there was like red, blue at different times. They had these little like basically just at every seat they had like a little Paramount Plus UFC towel, and then they also had these little white like they were just like little lights. Now I remember because I got one, I didn't even realize what they were at first, and then just at different you could put them on your wrist, but obviously you could just like they could just sit on your armrest or like in the cup holder or whatever. And at simultaneously they would turn them on, and everyone would just like they'll be blinking like red or blue or like purple for sure or whatever. So that was the only like small nuance thing that I hadn't seen at a UFC fight before. So I didn't mind it.
Yeah, didn't mind it either. Very cool stuff. And obviously the results were what they were. A lot has been spoken about. Paddy didn't perform how he wanted to. Great performance by Justin, Sean O'Malley, clear victory. Gene Silva, great win. I don't think we need to spend too much time on it because I think a lot has been said, and quite honestly, I think the results, what they lead to, are very obvious. Justin Gaethje is going to get a shot against Ilya. I guess Sean, you don't really know what's going to happen with Sean. He said he would fight Corey Sandhagen next if he gets paid like he gets paid for a championship fight. If not, he wants to fight Jan. But
I think he gets the Jan fight.
Yeah, and
I just, in the UFC, like, they just, the thing that the UFC I've noticed is usually pretty smart about is when they have a big fight to be made that you can even like remotely justify, like, they make it. And like, he beat Song, like he's obviously had, like, he was the champ. So I think if they have an ability to make Sean, Jan, Russia, USA, White House, I just think it makes too much sense as like an excellent like co-main, or I guess it just depends on how stacked the card gets. But I think it makes sense. Like, I think people are not gonna like seeing like Sugar the Golden Boy get like another title shot, but I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, PC Strickland says one see Sugar and Gaethje again till the White House, which sounds about right.
Those could be the two, like the main and co-main. I could see that.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see when. I mean, there's a lot of big fighters out there right now without fights booked. Obviously, Dana has said we're getting into booking the rest of 2026 now. I would love to see Sugar against Jan, but I guess Marab deserves it. But like you said, sometimes the deserve doesn't really happen in the UFC. I was about to say something, but I completely forget.
The only thing I was going to say,
Patty, I think will probably take some time off.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we see him again in early fall, and obviously the Hooker fight is there, win or loss this weekend for Hooker.
I think that's the fight. I was saying it all week. I think no matter what, like, obviously if Patty won, obviously he'd just be getting the title shot. But when like Hooker, whatever happens this Saturday, win lose, I think that's the clear next fight, Hooker Patty. The only thing with Hooker is, depending on like how this fight plays out, Hooker wants to fight all the time if he can. So that's the only thing that, like, Patty's probably gonna have a longer laugh. So that's the only thing that maybe it's not their next fight, but I think that fight's going to happen in the next like year and a half. It has to.
And Hooker's said it pretty clearly after his loss to Arman. He said, "Hey, I'm probably not going to be a championship level guy, but I want big fights. I want to fight against big names." And Hooker versus Patty could 100% headline a London card or any card outside of a pay-per-view, of course.
Yeah, 100%. Great co-main on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think you said it, Ev, to me. International Fight Week could be but that may be too soon for Patty. But who knows? Maybe he heals a little bit faster. I know he wants to get back in there. And honestly, his stock is probably even higher than it was, at least with the fans, before this fight, because he really proved himself as a tough fighter. Taking round 3 off of Gaethje was unbelievable. And to see him now, obviously the loss is not what he wanted, but I think he has a future that UFC fans are going to want to see.
He gained respect. He gained the toughness respect regardless. Because I think there's kind of been a lot of talk about like a lot of fighters. I think, like I've said, like Matt Brown had some comments. I don't know if you saw those, like some other people just kind of saying like, I don't know, just not really believing in his upside and just thinking that he showed he was tough, but like not much else kind of thing. I don't know. I think it's weird. I think he fought like fighting Gaethje's weird. Like Gaethje's tough. He's been really good as a dog. He obviously hits hard. I think he just kind of, I don't want to say like shocked him in the first round, but I think he just kind of hit him a few times early, like hard, and just kind of changed the complexion of the fight. But that's the fight game. That's what it is. And the grappling wasn't really working. Like when he did try, it wasn't working. So I mean, I don't think he expected going into it stand up for 5 rounds, but I also think part of that you have to credit Gaethje that he wasn't able to really he was able to defend it well.
Yeah, He couldn't get going. I think he said that our knee, or no, it was a punch to the solar plexus, really threw him off, and he couldn't get the grappling going. And it's kind of crazy that if he didn't get the grappling going, he still won a round and looked like he was going to the championship rounds. As I mean, he was the favorite on the live line, which is crazy looking back on. I know there was some thought that maybe Gaethje was hurt, but Gaethje showed in round 4 why he's the champ, and round 5 was close. I agreed with the scorecard that gave it to Patty. Giving it to Justin, I'm not mad about, but I had it 48-47 or 48-46 because I thought round 2 was as close as you'll get to a 10-8 round. But still, Justin Gaethje, now he has Ilya. There's always a puncher's chance, but I don't know. It's going to be a tough task for Justin.
Yeah, that one's going to be, I don't know. It's just, honestly, it kind of feels similar to me, kind of how having the realization about it with Charles after, and even, I mean, we predicted he was going to knock out Charles too, but I think there's a level with Gaethje where it's like, is Gaethje just going to stick on the outside and, like, pick Ilya apart? Like, how is he going to win? You know what I mean? Like, that's where, like, all he knows is go forward and, like, press and, like, attack. And, like, he's been tactical with it, but, I mean, still, like, I guess, like, the Ferguson fight was probably the most, like, aggressive tactical he was, but, I mean, if he does that against Topuria, he's getting his head knocked off in the first 3 minutes. Yeah.
That I don't see how he could come out on top over Ilya, but I picked Patty over him. It's a lot different though. I mean,
the danger coming back with the hands. He's just too good of a boxer. The death touch is just like, it speaks for itself. Still the greatest. I mean, the Josh Emmett surviving 5 rounds is aged like wine. I mean, it's unbelievable. That was, and even in that fight, that was one of the first 10-7s I can remember in the last, like, decade.
Yeah.
Watching the UFC where there's a true 10-7. He's that good. I personally just think Topuria is that good. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen people come out and say this fight's like a waste of time. And there's part of me that's like,
yeah, my opinion,
kind of like, because I think we all just know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, in my opinion, we're all just waiting for that Ilya Arman or Ilya Islam.
Yeah,
but
those are the two. Those are the 2 guys I want to see Ilya fight. And I think that most people want to see him fight because they're 2 guys that, especially even at this point, like, I want to see Islam bad, but the problem is it's never going to happen at 155 anymore. Now it has to be at 170, which is such an advantage for Islam. If it was at 155, I think Ilya, like, definitely could have won that fight. At 170, I'm not sure. The size might just be too much, but you never know. He can crack, so you know. But Arman, I think, would have to. Arman's the clear number 1 contender. He has been for like 2 years. We have to see that fight in the next, like, I know it's going to be Gaethje next, and then Arman's going to smoke somebody in the top 5, whether he fights Charles again or maybe he gets Holloway or someone. I don't know, like the winner of Holloway Charles. I'm not sure, but he's got to fight for the belt in the next year or so, year and a half. Yes. Even that would be too long. Like, it should be the next year.
Before we continue and get into this weekend's fights down under, we do want to remind you about DraftKings. There's only one UFC 325 this Saturday, and on DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting. Once it's over, your shot to get in on the action is gone. DraftKings Sportsbook is built for live betting, not just pre-fight picks, because in the UFC, one moment can flip the entire fight. One punch, one kick, one knockdown. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins with code Backfist. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Backfist. That's code Backfist to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Yes, DraftKings is there this weekend. It will be there for all of college basketball season, Super Bowl Sunday, you name it, it's there. And we're excited to use DraftKings. I'm going to pull up the lines for this weekend, UFC 325, back-to-back numbered events. I think that's what we're calling them now, just numbered events instead of pay-per-views. And I mean, if someone says pay-per-view, we'll know what you're saying, but it's pay-per-views. And this one's a little bit interesting because the first 4 fights of the night are Road to UFC Fights. And that's Aaron Tao against Nazmurul about to be our Lawrence Louis versus Solon Grangbo.
The GOAT.
Nakamura against Cesale, and then Dom Marfan against Sang Uk Kim. Yeah, I've seen a lot of love for Sulin Grangbo. I think
really good striker.
Really good striker. Aaron Tao, I've seen some love for. I don't know if
Tao's a big I like him. He crazy as the crazy, like the tattoos on his face.
Yeah.
He's super, like, obviously he's a flyweight, but stocky, like even almost short for a flyweight, but like hits hard, like comes forward, super aggressive. He fights out of City Kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like Tao as a dog. I watched all these guys in the last road to see. I like Tao and I like Sulin Grangbo. Tao's a dog, and then Sulin Grangbo's a big favorite, but I think Sulin Grangbo's a parlay piece.
Yeah,
I think he's very good. Super talented, like long, rangy striker, like dangerous. Those are the 2 that I like in Road to UFC.
Nakamura against Cesale. I think Cesale is another City Kickboxing guy. He trains with Volk. And then I don't know anything about the Don Marfan versus.
I want to say, if I remember from the last time, I want to say he's more of like a wrestler. I want to almost double check that.
Those are, I'll obviously be tuned in for those. They're the first 4. I like Sulin Grangbo a lot. I may take a shot on Tao. I have to look into Bat BR a little bit more. If not, I may just, responsibly sit out and enjoy. First 4 fights gets the night going. And then we go into the first fight of the night, first UFC fight of the night. Kaan Ofli against Yizha. Yizha is minus 218 on the comeback. Kaan Ofli is plus 180. Under 2.5 is plus 175. Over 2.5 is minus 230. Yizha is somebody that I've been interested in betting this week. Minus 218. I may have missed a proper line on him. His striking's very good. Kaan Ofli is a guy that does not impress me. Where are you at on this one, Ev?
Yeah, I like Yizha. I think he's talented. I'm Ofli too. Is a guy, like, he's a decent grappler. He doesn't offer much as a striker. He's definitely hittable. Yeah, I like Yizha here. I even think even a straight bet at even minus like 218 right now. Like, I think that's in play. I think he just kind of clears him everywhere here. I think he's just a better overall MMA fighter. Definitely better striker in my opinion for sure, and I think just as good of a grappler as well. I'd be awfully listen. Would it like stun me if he was able to get some takedowns? Definitely not. But I'd be pretty surprised if he was just like taking and holding Yizha down for significant stretches. And I think that's really Ofli's path.
Yeah, decent fight to start it off. 2 pretty good fighters. Then we go to another fight with 2 guys that haven't had the best career in the UFC, but are talented and have given us good fights. Jonathan Micallef, minus 135. Oban Elliott on the comeback, plus 114. Over 2.5, minus 215. Under 2.5, plus 165. I have been intrigued with Micallef here, where he could just kind of stay on the outside and outstrike Oban Elliott. But this could be a good buy low spot for Oban Elliott after his last loss. However, we will. I don't have an official bet on this yet. Minus 135. If I had to, I'd look into Micallef, but yeah, it's a fight between 2 guys. With Micallef has great jiu-jitsu. He's decent on the outside with those kickboxing skills, and Elliott could get the wrestling going. That was kind of offset in his last one. Yeah, we'll see. I was even considering an under here, but I may just end up not betting this or maybe putting it in a parlay and just for like a degenerates kind of pick.
Yeah, I am picking the fight. I like Micallef. I agree with you. Where I think the outside the kicks, I think his jiu-jitsu will at least offset some of the wrestling that Oban to me, because even to me, he's obviously had a couple losses out recently, but he kind of came in hot, but that he just didn't beat very good guys. Even I still, it's funny, I brought this up randomly a few times. Like Val Woodburn had him on skates for a minute there.
Yeah.
Like he's just very hittable. I think a guy like Micallef, who's a bigger, longer guy, like a solid kickboxer, solid striker. I really think Oban's path to victory is just grinding it out. If he can't do that, then yeah, I like Micallef.
Yeah, Micallef is the pick there. No bet yet, but now this is a fight that is a fascinating one. Jacob Malkoun against Torrez Finney. Jacob Malkoun minus 155. Torrez Finney plus 130. Over 2.5 minus 210. Two wrestlers. Malkoun is someone who I was really high on, but unfortunately had a very bad back injury. He hasn't had surgery. He's been out for, I think, a year and a half. Maybe
Been a while.
It's maybe even closer to 2. And we're obviously he's going up against Torrez Finney, very similar styles. I would be betting Malkoun here, but that injury really scares me. He didn't have surgery. He's been recovering by himself, kind of trying to do it more so with stretching and everything. But he has not had surgery, but there was a nerve issue. It's scaring me a little bit in order to place any money on the favorite here. What's your thoughts on this, Ev?
Yeah, I actually kind of like Finney. To me, I think the layoff worries me for Malkoun. Finney, I think you're seeing a more active guy. I think he's also going to be physically much stronger. And we've seen him at least have the cardio. If it becomes a full on just a pure striking match, I think Malkoun might have a slight edge. But I think Finney is going to have him. I think Finney can, and I think potentially will be able to get takedowns. I think Finney winning probably might not be the most exciting fight, but I like Finney as a dog. I think Finney's a live dog here. I think this should be a pick 'em.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick this, I think I would take Finney at the current number. It's tough to do. I just think Malkoun's such a better fighter, but the layoff, the injury, this is a tough one for me to really wrap my head around. I've been considering the under. We haven't seen Finney off of his back yet. If Malkoun takes him down, how will that look? But Finney has gone up against some pretty good fighters. Obviously, he just spams takedowns, but he has been in there, and he's been working with DC at DC's new camp. And maybe that's, if you wanted to have Torrez Finney train with someone, it would be DC. Very similar body type.
That's the model. That would be the model. Maybe not as high as upside, but that's definitely the short, strong guy.
Then we get
background.
Cam Rowston against Cody Brundage. Cam Rowston minus 360. Cody Brundage plus 285. Over 1.5 minus 110. I think Cam Rowston's very safe here. He's a parlay piece. I think I may even bet him straight. The height differences and reach advantage is going to be huge here. I was considering looking at a Cam Rowston around 2, round 3, but I don't even know if it gets there. Cody Brundage isn't awful, but I think the UFC knows what it's doing here. Sending Cody Brundage halfway across the world, going up against Cam Rowston, a local kid, and I think Cam Rowston's going to get another highlight victory. I'm not the biggest on Cam Rowston, but I think this is a really good matchup for him.
Yeah, I like Cam Rowston. I agree with you. I think he's a parlay piece. I like under 1.5 too. I think it's Rowston style. Rowston brings the fight. Brundage. The one thing with Brundage, he usually knows the assignment, and I don't think he's going to come in there and try to maybe he tries to wrestle. Maybe he sees the bigger, longer guy, and he does try to wrestle. But yeah, I think Rowston. I agree with the Rowston parlay piece, and I think under 1.5 because I think they're two guys that generally bring action. Rowston's had a first round finish in Contender Series as a dog. first round finish in the UFC, where Petrosky was like a solid fighter, at least respectable. So yeah, I think Rouse. I agree with you. I think Rowston's pretty like. I'd be pretty surprised if Rowston didn't win this fight.
Me too. It would be an unbelievable victory for Cody Brundage. And then we end the prelims with Junior Taffa plus 200 against Billy Elekana, who is minus 245, over 1.5, minus 160. I've been looking at the over here. I may have missed the line movement, though, so I don't know if I'm taking a bad price here. I just think both these guys, they're long strikers. And I think they may just end up looking at each other for a while or avoiding big punches. If I had to make a pick here, it'd be over 1.5.
Yeah, Elliott is not like he had the win as a dog, but I mean, it's tough. Like he's coming down in weight, like he's trying to like make something happen. I don't know. This is like not a play I'm super opinionated. Like I don't think I want. It's where I'm like I don't think this is a good matchup for Taffa particularly, but I also like I don't love the idea of laying almost minus 250 with Billy Elekana. Yeah, this is probably the fight betting wise I like the least.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Billy's the guy where I guess where I'm thinking about how does the over 1.5 lose? Because I think if it's a striking, I think this goes a little bit extends, but I guess Billy could get in there and just grapple right away. And we know Junior's not the greatest grappler, and he could just submit him.
Yeah.
But it's minus 160, not minus 300. So that's where my mind's at with that. I think both these guys are tough too. They're tough to finish. They can take big shots, but they send big shots the other way. So it's a decent fight, but I think there's a high upside for it being boring. Next up, first fight of the main card, Quillan Salkilld against Jamie Mullarkey. Salkild's all the way up to minus 1050. Under 1.5 is minus 160. Does Jamie Mullarkey have a shot in this fight, F?
No. This respectfully, I almost don't know why they made this fight. I think Nasrat is such a better win than Mullarkey at this stage. You land I guess I understand it from like you get two Aussie guys to bang it out to kick off the main card. Yeah. Mullarkey, to his credit, even though he's taken some losses, has really never been in a boring fight. Mullarkey at least comes to fight, but he's been the nail quite a bit, especially lately. Not as much the hammer. I think Salkilld. If Salkilld didn't finish him in the first 2 rounds, I'd be stunned.
Yeah, Jamie Mullarkey has had durability issues. Salkilld can really do it anywhere. I've been looking at the submission. I know it was brought up in the chat earlier. I think that's a decent play here.
Yeah, I don't hate plus 240 it is. I don't hate that.
Because, you're looking at this fight, and on DraftKings, you have to win by finish, minus 500 Salkilld, but you can get him by submission, plus 240. I think you're getting it's a decent way to attack this fight. Now, Mullarkey is a guy that likes to stand and bang, but I think from what we've seen from Salkilld so far, we forget he's so good on the mat. We saw him knock out Jubilee. We saw him knock out Nazarat recently. But I think we've forgotten, the market may have forgotten a little bit how good this guy is on the mat. And if he gets Mullarkey there, he can find that finish. Even hurt Mullarkey and then find the finish, a little ground and pound into a submission. So, yeah, I this is an obvious Salkilld star building situation here for him. But he was supposed to fight somebody else, right? It got canceled, and Mullarkey came short notice.
But I don't think it's that short notice, though. Who was he initially supposed to fight?
James or UFC 325 Tapology. They have I'm looking at. He was supposed to fight somebody. I remember.
Because I feel like the Mullarkey has been there for at least like a month or so.
He was supposed to fight Wrong Zoo.
Okay. Interesting.
Wait, what
I
is
think good
he
fight.
redeemed Jubilee? What is
He knocked out Jubilee. That was who he knocked out the Indian guy in his debut with like.
Yeah, didn't I say that? Or did I say something else? Let me know, chat. I'm sorry if I thought I said he KO'd Jubilee.
He
I may
did.
have. I remember
First punch he threw in the UFC.
First punch, and then Jubilee got up and was mad.
Yeah.
Vince Thigh says, Mullarkey been training with Volkan Ruffy for this one. Don't be shocked if he gets a win. We would be shocked.
Vince Dice, I love you. Always in the chat. I'd be stunned.
We love Vince. If you're right, remind us of this. We're gonna try to do.
I like Mullarkey. Like I said, he's never in a boring fight. I respect Mullarkey, but I just think this is a bad matchup. Bad matchup for him. A young killer on the rise.
Next up, we have the second fight on the main card, and that is a matchup between
The
return against Tallison Teixeira, under 1.5, minus 298. Tallison Teixeira is minus 345. Tuivasa plus 275. Can he pull off the unthinkable here? Can Tuivasa, who's traded in the beer for I think it was blueberries and eggs, can he pull off the unthinkable?
Why not? Here's my thing. Can Tallison go knock him out? Sure, of course he can. He's going to be a lot taller, a lot longer. He obviously hits hard. We've seen Bam Bam get knocked out by a few guys at heavyweight. But, like, to me, the line still, like, he wasn't as big of a dog, but, I mean, even, like, Derek Lewis was plus, like, 175, like, 200, I think, and went in there and just knocked him out in, like, 30 seconds. Like, Teixeira, to me, has not shown me enough to where he can lay this price. Because it's like, this is a fight where, like, you see what the under is. It's big heavyweights that both hit hard. Like, whoever wins, it's going to be like, oh, that was the obvious pick. Like, duh. You know what I mean? But I think Tuivasa is going to punch his chance here. Like, I don't see – if he's motivated, if he really is, like, motivated, we've seen, like, he obviously put on a lot of weight. He took it back off to get ready for this fight. I don't know. I just don't think Teixeira is that good. He's solid, but, like, I don't think he's –
he's a dangerous striker.
Like, special.
He's a dangerous striker with not great defense. He's 6'7". His hands are, and sometimes his hands are down low. It's going to be hard to fight for Tuivasa since he's been out of the UFC for it's been 4 years.
You know, he's definitely fought. He's
2 years.
It's probably been less than 2.
Yeah. I mean, we're happy to see Tuivasa back. He's a fucking legend, but he's lost. Maybe it's because he hasn't won a fight. And no, there's
no. That might be true.
That
him not winning a fight in 4 years could be true.
Anyways, yeah, I think if you're looking at this, it's tie via KO because Tallison's defense isn't that great.
Wow, you know who his last win was against, Jack? Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis.
Because he lost to Kaan, which still is, to me, the loss to Kaan, that was the best Tuivasa we've ever seen. Anyone who watches that fight, that was the best. Like that was the buildup. Like that run he went on there, where he had all those knockouts in a row, and then knocked out Derek Lewis, and then fought Kaan in the main event, and like had him like knocked him down and had him hurt badly. That was the best. That was the best version. Like that was peak Tuivasa. And then he just lost every fight since then.
Bro, Ty's last fight was in September 2023 against Volkov. I don't know what this guy's saying. He's
his last fight was the Rosenstrike in August 2024.
Oh, never mind. So even a year. So yeah,
it's a year and a half. It's been like a year and a half, a little bit less.
Wait, was the fight against Rosenstrike the one where he got around or he won on a scorecard?
Yeah, the worst scorecard in like maybe MMA history. The worst.
Yeah, I remember that. It was one of the.
It was a shitty, boring fight.
Yeah,
Rosenstrike clearly won though.
Yeah, no, Vince, you are right. He's off the beers. He's eating eggs and blueberries. He said.
It's good combo.
Yeah, good for him. Then we get into the third fight on the main card, and And that is a matchup that is a banger. Mauricio, Huffy. I actually think it's not Huffy, it's Ruffy. Against Rafael Fiziev. This is a banger. This is the first fight we are seeing from Huffy or Ruffy since he fought BSD.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know he lost, but I thought he fought decently. BSD just kind of drowned him, but it wasn't the worst we've ever seen. It wasn't an auto drowning, but it was
it wasn't great.
It was great. And now Fiziev is a tough matchup, but can Ruffy stay on the outside long enough in this fight to secure a victory and avoid Fiziev's massive, powerful attacks?
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup for Ruffy. There he is.
I'm in. Sorry.
What's up?
What's up?
We're on Ruffy against Fiziev right now.
Sorry for the delay. First of all, I thought it would take a lot less time than it did. I kind of like Fiziev. He's the dog in this, right? Slight.
Yeah, the line flipped big time. Fiziev opened as like a decent favorite.
I
like
looked at it this morning and
70.
I saw him as the dog and I was in.
Yeah, I just think I think Ruffy's a bad matchup for him just because when I think of like they're both gonna strike, and Fiziev wants to get in close, he wants like in the clinch, like some of the dirty boxing. He wants to really get inside. Like that's why him and Gaethje I find to be like kind of similar. I mean, Fiziev probably more technical, but we saw Gaethje's been able to kind of outdog him a little bit. I think Ruffy can stay on the outside and win minutes on the feet, just like kind of kicks and stay on the outside, jabs. I kind of like Ruffy. Like I think it's because I think there's a lot of guys Fiziev could beat that maybe Ruffy won it, but I just think Ruffy will Ruffy will win this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiziev is definitely a concern ever since that MCL tear. Obviously, coming back and winning against Bahamondes was very impressive in 2025. But we are now seeing a guy against Ruffy. I think is a little bit more of a tougher matchup, but I keep thinking about that Bahamondes fight. Really liked how he looked, and I'm concerned that we could see a very similar approach here from Fiziev against a long striker, kind of like Ruffy. But Ruffy is a much better striker and a better MMA fighter than Bahamondes. So I get the love for Ruffy. Next up, co-main, Dan Hooker versus BSD. Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is minus 340 now. On the comeback is Dan Hooker plus 270, over 1.5, minus 188, under 1.5, plus 145. We got a banger here, folks. I think BSD takes it. I can't bet against him. I never have. But I do have some concerns here. But I kind of think BSD can kind of do what Armin did to Hooker. Am I crazy for that?
No.
Stand and trade with him, though. And I feel like BSD will get sucked into Hooker's fight here. I don't think Hooker's going to win. I do think BSD is going to, but I feel like he's going to get sucked into a war.
That's my worry, because if you're a BSD better here, you want what Jack said. Like you want him to get the fight to the ground. Like that's where he has the clear edge. But I do agree with Bob too, where I worry I've said of BSD forever, like he's hittable. He's very hittable, and he's a true warrior. Like he comes forward sometimes with no regard. And I think against Hooker, that could be bad news. Like this is a weird fight where we haven't seen one of those patented from early in his UFC career, like one of those big Dan Hooker knees up the middle, super tall guy, long legs for the division. And I think that's what scares me. If BSD just comes forward with that reckless abandon and just walks into something, but he's got power too, and Hooker's got a great chin. But yeah, I think BSD's the better fighter, and I think he knows where he's at. And he still can take it to the ground and be violent. That's what we've seen. I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to go full Poirier Hooker fight here. I think he knows what he needs to do, and he'll do what he did to Ruffy, kind of.
Do you think it's Patty no matter what for Hooker next?
We were just talking about that before, and the only thing I think yes, but my only concern would be that Hooker likes to fight so much, and that if Patty has a long layoff, that maybe he might not want to wait. He might not want to wait till the fall, but maybe he will. Because I also could see them paying big money for that fight, and maybe he does just wait till the fall or whoever, and it's a big co-main on a huge card.
I hope they're listening to like the quotes on the Helwani show and everything about it's on site from Hooker. Like, let's make sure we actually keep them separated so we could get that fight one day.
I think we will. I'd be pretty surprised if we didn't.
Yeah, I think we will too.
We have to get it.
Then we have to get it. And we end tonight with and Ev, could you just shift your like yourself a little or the camera a little bit to your left?
He looks like a UFC on Cyborg or UFC on Paramount like Cyborg.
Other way. There we
head?
go. Yeah, it's just like cover.
It was covering your face.
On mine it wasn't. On my see now me it's covering my face more.
Oh really?
That's interesting.
Weird.
The way I can see it now, it's like now I'm like now it's covering my eyes. The way I'm seeing it right now.
Wait, really?
The way we're seeing it is it's not covering your eyes there. That's fucked up.
This is crazy. The way it's like kind of right on the corner of my head is how I'm seeing it right now.
So we'll end tonight with the main event. Everyone knows what it is. Diego Lopes plus 124 against Alexander Volkanovski minus 148. The rematch that was criticized, but I think everyone's going to be excited to watch. I am a little bit confused why this fight is even happening. All that being said, though, I'm excited for it. I really do think that Volk wins again. But I see there's been some love for Diego Lopes in the market. But I think Volk can kind of just redo what he did last time and end up not getting hurt. I really think this is Volk's fight to lose. But I've seen a lot of love and respect for Diego Lopes here, which I understand. I mean, it's a minus 148 plus 124 fight. I think it's going to look a little bit more like minus 175, minus 200 Volk. But even then, the margins are slim enough for Diego to find a win.
It's funny that the fight went the way it did, where everyone thinks it was so lopsided that there shouldn't have been a rematch, but then the line's just the same.
Yeah.
So
he rocked him in that fight. Yeah, where it's like, I feel like the big question is like, Volk survived 5 rounds with him. Can he survive 10 rounds with him? And that is a gamble with Diego Lopes. I think it's Volk's fight too. Like, I think at this point he'll probably be even better in the rematch, knowing what Diego Lopes has to offer in the first fight, knows what he has to look out for. But I don't hate that the rematch is happening. I know people that like casuals that love Diego Lopes and are just excited for this fight.
Maybe ask me when the TikTok cooking influencer is fighting.
Yeah, inside the association says is my friend casual. If he asks me why the TikTok cooking influencer is fighting Saturday, no, I think that means he's the opposite of a casual. He is a cage knower, as we say. I got to say,
cook knower. I
got to say, Robbie, I don't know what's going on. I'm a little bit concerned. Hot Billy has not been in the chat tonight.
No Hot Billy tonight. Maybe he's a nighttime guy. Does he work the night shift?
Maybe it's possible. Hot Billy, you never know. He's probably just out there with a date, with like.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably just fucking.
He's probably got a girl on each arm right now.
Yeah,
girl on each arm. They're feeding him.
He's getting a train ran on him by a bunch of girls.
But
honestly, with Lopes, there's this weird part of me that thinks like he saw that he hurt him. Does he just kind of go like kamikaze mode at him this time?
So
like, does he just throw caution to the wind? But he did get hurt a few times when he did that too, because Volk is just faster and more technical. Volk is faster, like I think his hands are faster.
Yeah.
But
one thing that I
throw so hard.
One thing that I could look at here and see why the line is kind of is what it is coming to that first fight. There was some serious concern about the cardio of Diego. Could he go into the 4th and 5th round? Could he look good in those rounds? He didn't look particularly good in round 3 against Dan Ige, who was off the couch. Mm-hmm. But then in round 4 and round 5, against the guy that we know is a cardio monster in Volk, Diego looked the best that he looked. Is that something that he unlocked? I don't know. I still think it's Volk's fight to lose, and I think a lot of people would agree with that.
I think he like the Ige thing. He had the weird yo-yo thing where he was going to fight Ortega.
Yeah.
It was this weight class, then it was up in weight, then it was like down, then it was like he had so much going on that I think that played a factor into it. I kind of give him a pass on that a little bit.
But
Like what a crazy circumstance.
I also think Diego's getting a little bit too much credit for his win against Gene, even though it was amazing. It was not a fluke. That spinning shit was kind of that was. I think Gene
he did bust him up in the first round.
Yeah.
Though, too. That's the only thing. He was landing big ground and pound.
Yeah, I just think I see Volk just kind of it's another reminder, but again, at a certain point, and I know this is in the last fight, that was Volk trying to get a belt back. Now this is Volk again. Obviously, we've seen him at the top, and he hasn't cratered, but this is Volk.
Would you be shocked if he got knocked out? Like I don't feel like I would be shocked.
No, I wouldn't. Lopes is a monster, dude. He's knocked out a bunch of guys. Like it's not. I don't think it's.
And that's why I'm like not mad at the fight. I'm like going into it being like, yeah, Volk could get knocked out in this fight. I don't think he's gonna, but he could.
He actually, I mean, on the odds, they think it's more likely that Lopes gets a knockout than Volk.
I believe that.
It was like plus 330, and I think Volk's plus 360 by KO.
Yeah, a nice option if you like the Diego side, but you're concerned that Volk's gonna just dominate him over 4 or 5 rounds. Let me find the exact word to find it. Money line finish only. Diego Lopes minus 160. I mean, you're paying a significant price, but that's if the fight goes to the decision. You just get your money back. It's a push. But then if the fight finishes for you to win, Diego has to finish him. That's an option. It's under on DK. It's under Fight Lines, I believe. Yep, Fight Lines. They usually have that for every fight, at least the main card. That's an interesting option. Some people call it no scorecards, like Diego Lopes, no scorecards. Same thing, finish only, no scorecards. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome fight. Nice second card for Paramount. It's not numbered event. And Robbie, we're calling them numbered events, right?
Numbered events. I think that's the new term for them. Yeah. WWE does PLEs. I could see them kind of using that too, because TKO, premium live events.
Yeah, I think, premium live events or numbered events, but it should be exciting. We're going to try to go live on Saturday night after the fights.
Which should be sooner too. That's nice.
It won't be like 3 a.m. like we have in the past.
It'll be 2 a.m.
Yeah, be like midnight.
Yeah.
But it was great. And Robbie, before you got on, we just said it was a great week in Vegas. Obviously, we kind of got stuck there, but worst places to be stuck. And I'm always incredibly grateful that we get to go to these fights. And that fight was awesome to see. We wanted a different result, but it was still a great fight.
Paramount, they hook it up. They're the best.
Yeah, shout out Paramount, the presenting sponsor of this episode, and hopefully ones in the future. Shout out Paramount Plus.
Shout out Paramount Plus.
Shout out Paramount Plus.
And comment your favorite bet this weekend, or anything. Why Paramount Plus is the best, or why we're the best.
Round 1 knockout.
Why we're the best.
Or even just throw shade our way.
Or shade,
Comments are all equal.
And if you're watching the stream right now, please like the video. Like the video if you're just watching it. If you're listening,
shout out this guy Anthony, said first time listener. Love that. Love getting new listeners. Hope you come back next week or on Saturday.
Have podcast feeds if you're someone like a first time listener. We do have a podcast feed as well on anywhere you get podcasts. So if you just want to listen on podcast, you can get it there. Obviously, we'll always be on YouTube, but sometimes it's easier to listen just through podcast. But outside of that, parlay. We'll probably.
What do you think?
I mean, I guess we can put one out, but
I mean, do we go? See, Salkild's such a big.
I mean, we could do Salkilld by submission. Salkilld by submission.
You want to get nuts with it? I'll get nuts with it.
Salkilld by submission.
Do we do tie? Do we get insane? Or do you want to leave tie out of it? I'm good with
I like tie.
All right, tie. Fuck it. Tie plus
All right,
two.
and then
Tie down under? Come on.
And then do like BSD Volk.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
That would
26
be
to 1.
Yep. Sounds good to me. Plus 2006, plus 2664. Almost 27 to 1.
Getting rich on Saturday.
Yeah, responsibly.
One unit can net you almost 27 units.
Boom.
If you don't sprinkle a Brundage fight ends no contest or draw, then you're a communist. All right. Maybe we should put what wait, before we go, I just want to see something. If we added FICOs to draw for Cody Brundage against Cam Rowston in that parlay, it's 150 to 1. So if you wanted
it goes to draw.
That's like the parlay plus. You like it won't be available on DraftKings, but the real ones will know.
If you want to throw extendo out there, send your
all right. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching, listening, commenting the whole night. See ya.